for our first video today, we're filming more than one video again. We read Dancing at Lughnasa by Brian Friel,
something like that.
Something.
This is the cover.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
It was. I actually had to read this play twice. Once for acting one, because I had to perform a scene out of it, and then for Irish Lit.
So, she's like the expert.
Only on one character. Don't ask me more.
Okay, so in this one, it's 1936 in Donegal, County Donegal. And
the town of Ballybeg.
Yes. Or, I don't like that name, Ballybeg.
No, but it is the name. And we're approaching the festival of Lughnasa,
which honors the pagan god Lu, which is
music. It's
music
harvest, music,
and light.
Light and dancing.
Yeah.
And I think wine too.
Possibly.
He's kind of like the Irish version of what's that Greek god?
Apollo.
No.
Dionysus.
Yes. It's like the Irish version of Dionysus.
If you combine the two, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so there's 5 sisters, right? Yeah, it's 5 sisters: Rose, Agnes, Kate, Maggie, and
Chris.
Yeah, that's the one I couldn't remember.
I know Chris because I played Chris.
And then Chris has a son named
Michael, and the father of her child is named Jerry Evans.
Jerry. He's not as like
spelled like Gary, but it's Jerry.
It is not spelled like Gary.
I kept calling him Gary for like the first week I was working that scene, and then Sal goes, "It's Jerry Irene." I'm like, sorry.
Gerry.
For some reason, it looked like Gary. It's
Jerry. And then so they're living in this small little house, like little outside of Ballybeg, and Kate is a teacher. Agnes and Rose they
knit mittens.
Yeah, so it's like a small little business. Maggie just keeps house, and I don't really know what Chris does.
Chris is a mom. She's also the baby of the family.
Yeah.
She doesn't really do that much. Maggie does all the cooking.
I'm assuming Chris does something.
Yeah, it never really addresses it. Well, it says at the end of the play she gets a job at that factory.
Yeah, she gets a job at the factory eventually. But I don't really know what she does before that.
No one does.
I'm not convinced she does anything. So anyway.
She's a mom.
Yeah. At the beginning of the play, their brother, Jack, comes home from being a priest in Uganda for 25 years.
So a bit of a culture shock when he comes back.
He's also sick with malaria. So that kind of adds to his confusion when he comes back.
And he's been speaking Swahili for 25 years, and so he's forgotten a lot of his English.
Which is understandable.
It really is.
And then so, he's not adjusting well, to say the least, to life in Ireland.
And that, the climates are so different. It's so hot. It barely ever rains in Uganda, and then Ireland it rains a majority of the time.
And so he's a little still stuck in the pagan world of Uganda.
Much to Kate's annoyment.
And then the village isn't real happy with him, so eventually Kate is let go from her teaching job because of Jack.
Yeah, well, declining numbers.
Passive-aggressively because of Jack.
Yeah. The school's declining in numbers. You liar.
Yeah. And Jerry he just comes to visit. He just kind of pops up.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't addressed in the movie, which really annoyed me. But at that part when he's dancing with Chris, he asks her to marry him.
Yeah.
And she says no. And he's like, but I love you. And she goes, when you're with me. Reading this play just brought that back. It was, I loved, because that was the scene I performed. It was, I enjoyed that scene.
And then so he just kind of pops up, and they're all one happy-ish family for most of the summer.
Yeah, because the adult Michael's the narrator of the play, and he's just
then Michael is actually in the story is 7. So
yeah,
so he's kind of
he's 8. Because Kate calls him 8. Yeah, when they all want to dance, she goes, You have an 8-year-old child to Chris. He's 7 to 8.
7. Right there. In the character description.
Another detail the movie got wrong. He
Boom.
said he was 8 in one part of the play.
Movies lie.
Movies and late, yeah. He's 7.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a little off top, a little tangent. So Jerry, and so by the end of the summer, things start going downhill. Kate loses her job. A factory opens up, which effectively puts Agnes and Rose out of business.
Chris later gets a job there, but
unhappily.
Yeah, she hated it.
Jerry decides he's going to go fight for Spain.
Fight in Spain against Franco?
Franco, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jack's still just kind of doing his own thing.
Another thing I hated that the movie didn't do. I understand why the movie didn't do it. But Michael finds out later that his dad was actually married with children with a woman in Wales, and that his mom was his dad's mistress. He finds that out later after his dad dies. And they didn't address that in the movie because they're just like, we have to make them kind of like Jerry. And that, when I read that in the play, just destroyed all my liking for Jerry.
Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, that's basically Dancing at Lughnasa. I don't know, can you think of anything else?
It's called Dancing at Lughnasa, and it seems like the sisters need to dance because they're all stressed and their lives aren't going the best. But Kate is all like, no, we don't do that. We are proper women of Ireland.
We're proper Catholic.
We're proper Catholic women of Ireland. We do not do the dancing. And then they dance, and it's beautiful.
And then she dances too, and they're all like, woo,
because they need it, because dance is a stress relief. It is letting go. It's freedom. It's expressing your inner emotions. Sorry, I was also a dancer. I know these things. But
dancing's for the devil.
I loved dancing.
I don't actually have a problem with dancing.
So there was... So they needed it. They needed it, and they were trying so hard not to have that freedom, and then when it happened, it's glorious, and they had it.
But yeah. So, that's Dancing at Lughnasa. It was pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all we can say for it.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll be back shortly. Bye!